Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 275. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Marty Isaac's back again.
Hello.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Sitting in Adriano Petty's seat here.
Yeah.
Pretty
Keeping it warm.
Keeping
After
it
I
warm
shot him.
for him. Yeah, you gotta stop shooting people, probably, and admitting to it on a podcast.
Live on Anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not live, but
Live to tape on Anchor.
There you go.
live to tape on Anchor.
You looking at my levels over here?
I'm making sure they all record. Yeah. I
Oh
always
yeah,
do.
this happened before. Got like 5 minutes in and wasn't recording Matt.
Yeah. Fuck. And who's that bottom one there? It's a little bit low, isn't it?
That's Marty, but Marty talks low. I'll boost it when it's
Okay.
when it's
I
done.
talk low.
Yeah. Matt Lawrence is here.
What's up?
We saw Birds of Prey last night.
Yeah, we did.
General thoughts?
Is this a spoiler discussion?
Not really, but
A forgettable, fun, but one-time watcher.
I can agree with that. It was enjoyable. It's kind of silly and dumb, but I think it would have been better if it had been edited normally. Like if things just played out chronologically instead.
oh yeah, they try to be a little creative with their timing.
Yeah, everything's kind of like in different orders, but they like flash back to scenes that happened like 5 minutes ago,
Yeah.
or they'll flash back in the middle of an action scene.
Right.
And it's just really weird. It just breaks up the pacing.
But I think if you think of it as she narrates it,
Right.
and so her mind's probably crazy like that. And so she's telling the story all fragmented.
That's fair.
But you're right, it was a little like jarring at times, and then sometimes it's like I wanted to see what happened, and they would cut back to something I didn't care about.
Yeah. Or something that you knew because you watch movies and you're not an idiot.
Yeah.
It's weird that it's called Birds of Prey, eh? It's like this is a Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah.
Is the next one going to be called Birds of Prey, but it won't be about Harley Quinn, and it'll have a different subtitle?
Was that subtitle official?
Yeah, that's the subtitle.
Oh, that is the official subtitle. Probably, right?
So you think it should have been called like Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey?
Something like that, or just even just Harley Quinn.
And then that would have spawned the Birds of Prey movie. Yeah, that kind of makes more sense.
So you want DC to take their time to get to a Birds of Prey movie?
I don't I don't have any thoughts about that.
They're not good at taking their time building up characters and story before a big.
What are you talking about? Don't you remember Justice League? I'll tell you one thing. I don't even remember the villain.
I remember how bad the villain looked.
I don't
how
even
bad
remember
his
what the villain
CG
is.
was.
Who's
Oh.
the villain?
I don't know his name.
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the only scene I remember from that is the scene where Jason Momoa like sits on the lasso or whatever, or the whip of truth or some crap.
Oh, in Justice League?
And,
yeah.
and then I remember Batman, and I think it was a couple other Batman and Wonder Woman, I think, were standing outside of a lake, and it looked like they were trespassing because there was a fence beside them, and it looked like they were just filming on the side of the lake, trespassing
Just illegally?
just illegally, and that's the only thing I remember. And that's it.
Do you think it's weird that they went from Suicide Squad, which made a lot of money actually,
Mm-hmm.
And sucked.
but they went from that, then they went to the Joker, which is Joaquin Phoenix, completely different tone, probably not in the same universe,
I would say definitely not.
and then returned to Harley Quinn, who talks about the Joker about half of this movie. You know.
Right. Mild spoilers. They left themselves some room to make it like it could be not Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, they didn't even show like the back of his head or anything.
Right. You think that was
Like that's purposeful.
Yeah.
Either to not pay him,
right?
or to just one day change him.
I mean, in a way, I feel bad for him because he did say he felt like he was completely just shut out. Because most of his scenes were cut from Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And then he didn't get the Joker movie, and then he wasn't in this movie. And
yeah.
I don't think is he in Suicide Squad 2?
No.
Which is just called
Suicide Squad.
is it the Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad again?
It might be called the Suicide
Oh
Squad.
my lord!
They should call it Suicide Squad again. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But that's a soft reboot, right? A C-boot.
But they just did this one, which is a direct sequel to Suicide Squad.
It is a direct sequel to The Harley Quinn bits.
And is she in the next Suicide Squad? This is confusing, right?
No, it's not. She might not be. She probably won't be.
Wow.
But there is a direct reference to something other than Harley. There's like that Captain Boomerang little tease.
And is he in the next Suicide Squad?
I believe so. It's a C-boot.
Now, this next Suicide Squad could be good.
I think it will be, actually.
It's James Gunn.
Yeah.
So.
And it's got a crazy cast.
Yeah.
I think like half of them are going to die. It's going to be great.
I mean, they're called the Suicide Squad.
It should be more than just one person dying.
Just Adam Beach.
Yeah.
That was really sad, eh?
They didn't set him up to be anything but dead.
They should have had him on the wall of the police station, like crossed off.
He can climb anything.
So Jared Leto's face wasn't in this, but Captain Boomerang was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
a big jab. That's a real big jab.
It's obviously Jared Leto's Joker, though, because she's got shit written on her face, right?
She was also in the other movie with Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Like, how can you have a different Jared Leto?
I think you should just let him do it again.
Now,
be a different Joker. Just let Jared Leto do it again.
I think it was the director of Joker that said that
Joker.
Joker.
Okay.
Joaquin Phoenix, his Joker could have inspired the Jared Leto Joker.
Do
You
people
said
like
so,
that?
So the Joker takes place in like 1980.
Right.
So that's well before the modern times of Suicide Squad.
Could certainly work out timeline-wise.
This Joaquin Phoenix guy could have just been a one-off thing that happened and that everyone kind of just forgot about as time passed, except for Jared Leto.
Does that not make the Jared Leto Joker so much worse?
Yes. Yes,
That just makes him like a loser.
Makes him more lame than ever.
He got stuff written on his face.
Yeah.
He also was in that weird circle of knives, laughing on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fine with that. It looks great in the trailer.
He had to take the time to set it all up, though.
Yeah. That's what he does with his time.
What does the Joker do when he's not doing bad stuff?
Laughing.
When he's like leisurely activities.
That's what I want to know. Yeah. Do all these villains, are they always doing evil things? Like, do they never just sit down and...
Probably banging Harley.
He's crazy, though, so he could be doing all sorts of things, right?
Yeah. I don't know what he does. Making a new suit.
Ewan McGregor was great.
Yeah. He's pretty good. Black Mass is a kind of a weird character.
Yeah. I'm kind of I hope this doesn't mean he can't be in a Marvel film, because I kind of would like to see him in a Marvel film too somewhere.
He should have been Ant-Man.
I was gonna say he's too old for that, but Paul Rudd's pretty old too.
Yeah.
Just doesn't look it. All right, some of the top stories for this week. So Rockstar Games' vice president, co-creator as well, Dan Houser, has left the company. He had a pretty big role at Rockstar. He was like one of their lead writers. He
Wasn't he a
wrote,
co-founder
he
too?
created,
Co-founder too.
yeah, he created the narrative, and I think for either both Red Deads or
Oh.
one of them like that.
Wow.
So a pretty big loss there. Outer Worlds' Switch port is delayed due to coronavirus. Now, this is a pretty hilarious one. Cliff Bleszinski says he made LawBreakers too woke, and that's one of the reasons it failed. So that'll be a fun one to talk about. We also have new numbers on how much Activision and Take Two have made from microtransactions. Xbox's Phil Spencer sees Amazon and Google as their biggest future competitors. And then finally, the PS5's price could be decided by what the Xbox Series X is priced at.
Ooh.
It sounds like they're kind of trying to bait each other, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're not. That's one thing they're not giving up.
They both don't have any, like, conferences where they're showing it off yet. They're all kind of they're both waiting, I think.
One's giving a little bit of detail, a little bit of detail, a little
who's
bit of
going to be
detail.
the first one to announce the price?
Because it's fucking close, man. It's
and
getting
release
there.
date.
A little too close, right?
A
Like
little
we
too
probably
close.
should know some stuff already. Less than a year.
When did we hear about the PS4? Was it February?
Something like that.
I remember it was wet and rainy out when I was watching the conference. I think it was I was on my phone.
Oh.
You remember that? I think you were with me.
Watching the PS4.
We were driving like to Mohawk or something like that.
Watching the PS4 get announced.
Yeah. Something like that. Weird.
I definitely do not remember
Oh,
that.
okay. First of all, though, what's new? What's new with you, Marty? You were on a bit of a gaming kick with all your games you were trying to finish and new games
Oh
you're
yeah,
starting.
I'm trying to find a game that sucks me in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite happening. I tried Uncharted 2, but I think it's just too soon after the first one.
Yeah.
Still can't get into it. And I don't like getting screwed over in a game. Like
Oh, yeah.
like Drake just gets screwed over right at the start of that one. Like, you son of a bitch. But I'm all about the Minecraft lately. Actually, I feel like when I played Minecraft, it was years and years ago, and there was certainly less blocks, and there was stuff just behaved differently.
Mm-hmm.
So when I built stuff like the way people built stuff like 5 or 6 years ago, when everything's just blocky and gross looking. Now people are really, really advanced at adding details to the outside of their builds and making things less blocky.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't do that.
So what are they doing exactly to?
Well, just adding like, I learned like trapdoors are super, super handy.
Mm.
You can make them into shelves. You can just make them into siding. You can make them into like a countertop.
It's funny that they are using other pieces simply to create things that look aesthetically different.
I think that's why I'm into it now. There's just like another level of creativity
Right.
that I'm getting into. So I've been watching some vids on that, and it's hard finding people that just aren't little kids blasting their shitty music on their videos.
Oh yeah.
But there's some pretty creative videos out there now, and I feel like I'm getting more creative with it. So I got like a little city built. Got a river all around the outside. I just did like there's not enough texture mods on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like certain things I see in videos that I just can't accomplish because of that, which sucks, but I'm having fun with it still. I need a new single player game though.
Sounds like you should hit up that Fallout again then.
What?
Oh, the Wastelanders.
Fallout 4.
Oh, okay. I
No.
thought you were on the Wastelanders update in
No.
April. Was it?
I might be incapable of beating an RPG.
It's a lot of time, eh?
It's a lot of time, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of you got to stay focused a little bit.
It's not that much time. You beat Red Dead, and Red Dead's sort of the same.
That's not an RPG.
It's not an RPG, but you can absolutely just do the story of Fallout.
Yeah, but
It's the same thing
it's
as
not the same thing.
No, but it's the same thing in that it's pretty damn close, man.
Like
Other than leveling up,
Red Dead's narrative,
Oh.
Fallout 4's narrative.
the narrative is
And that has
certainly-
to carry you through like
Mhm.
the campaign, right? Otherwise, I'll just get bored.
I
don't-
suppose.
when I play Fallout, it's not. I don't really care much about the main quest.
That's why I can't finish it.
Yeah.
Like I just build things in 76.
It's literally there to guide you to new cities where there's like a ton of other stuff to do.
Yeah. I'm incapable of beating an RPG. It's bad.
Maybe that should be our goal. We should try to find one that you can beat.
That's interesting.
Have you ever beat a Zelda
Yeah, but those I don't know. What's an RPG?
role-playing game? Although, does it require? I mean, generally, it requires you to level up, and do skills and attributes and crap.
Maybe
Yeah.
create a character too, right? Maybe not necessarily.
Not
But
necessarily critic because like Final Fantasy is an RPG.
do you have like a certain amount of customization around that though?
Red Dead's an RPG, right? Would you consider?
No.
You don't have to do dick all in Red Dead. You don't have to eat. You don't have to go buy ammo. You don't even really have to go do anything to get
But we're playing the
money
role,
other than missions.
playing the role of Arthur Morgan, and you're.
But that would be every game if you want to make it that broad.
I suppose that's true.
I would say a Western RPG typically has leveling, skills, armor of some sort, either if it's just clothing or actual armor, multiple weapons, and it's usually a little more mathematical in terms of what items you are equipping and how they affect other enemies and stuff.
I did it then.
And then typically like dialogue choices and decision making and stuff like that.
I beat Bloodborne.
Yeah, I would say Bloodborne.
That's an RPG.
Yeah.
You level up and stuff, yeah, for sure.
I really feel like you don't have to do those things in Bloodborne though. You can get by with just
Well, all
your
the
skill and like the base weapon you get.
if you watch the what do you call them? The speedrunners.
Yeah.
They level up like a couple times maybe just
The
for
strategic like little level
Yeah.
ups.
And sometimes they're not even wearing armor. They're just running through naked, and they. I watched one where it was like 0 hits too, like you didn't get hit
That's
once.
disturbing.
It's insane, insane.
Easy game.
Well, Dark Souls 3 might be the what you're looking for, Marty.
Oh, I don't want to buy a game. That's the thing. I've bought so many games that I just
Yeah.
haven't finished, haven't started.
You should just.
But if they're games you don't want to play, you know.
That's fair.
What about something in your collection that's completely opposite to what you recently did? So you just beat Uncharted 1. What if you just try to go completely different, something that you would consider completely different yourself, personal preference, you know?
What Remains of Edith Finch.
There you go. And that's a short one too, right?
I haven't played it. I don't know.
Oh, I thought that was...
It was sitting on my
I'm thinking
console.
about The Witness, I think. No, The Witness. The
I know what you're talking about.
one where you talking about the payphone
Yeah.
one time, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that one would be a good one.
that's a weird one.
But something like that, like you're right, like just something you
Yes.
can quickly bang out and then you can
Okay.
kind of move on, get your momentum back.
Thundelio. Probably not though.
Damn it!
Probably
I'm gonna
Overwatch.
say he's gonna deny that after this.
Overwatch and Minecraft.
Fuck. Man, you're stuck in the rut that I was. I was just doing Red Dead, Call of Duty, and some other online game I don't even remember, and that was it. Just on this huge multiplayer kick for a long time, but now I gotta take a small break from Red Dead. I'll play it here and there, but damn, we played a lot.
You
Holy
did God
crap.
of War, yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Oh, which you recently platinumed.
just Platinum God of War. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Pretty good, pretty damn good. The collectibles were difficult actually, but the game was awesome. The actual game was fucking awesome.
It's crazy how good it is.
There is a lot hidden, I found. There's going back, I've gone into the same room like 4 times and I found like little side passages and all this crap. Like every time I went back in there, some of those places, the story is fucking awesome. And those Valkyries were easy money.
Game of the year right there.
What I think this really shows off too is just that God of War is a completely different franchise prior to this latest game.
Right.
It's a completely different playing style, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't look the same, like if you didn't recognize Kratos, that you would think they were different games.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot to learn here that you can revive older IPs instead of trying to stick too true to what it was. You know, you can
Right.
actually reboot it and make it better.
Maybe that can be our Query Corner question of the day at the end.
What questions? What old games do you want to see like revived in a
Yeah.
better way?
Or rather, who could actually pull that off?
Right.
That's a pretty good one. I like that one.
Put that on the back burner, Marty.
All right.
Matt, other than getting that God of War plat, what else you been up to?
I've been playing a little bit of Call of Duty, a little bit of Red Dead as well. I'm fatigued of Red Dead to an extent. I can't do the long sessions anymore.
Once you have everything you want, I don't find any need to play anymore.
That's one of the problems with it.
I'm kind of just waiting for the next Outlaw Pass.
I think that might be what I'm
Yeah.
waiting for too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it ain't really that big of a complaint because we have played it a lot and it's been a while.
It might be the most broken game I've ever played.
Holy crap!
It's
really?
it's broken
And
in a
that's
lot
not
of ways.
That's not hyperbole. I honestly, everything I touch in that game has broken at one time or the other.
Yeah.
Oh my Christ!
It is. I would say the bugs are less jarring than 76.
Right.
The performance is not bad,
Right.
which is also a big thing. But 76 has some mechanics that have not broken or broke very briefly. But
Mhm.
Red Dead seems to break in every aspect in some way.
I've gotten times where it just black screen, infinite load.
Yep.
I've gotten my horse can't be ridden on.
Yep.
Sometimes you can get on your horse but not actually move it.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Same with the
Uh,
wagons as well. Same thing. Same glitch.
I've had doors not open, like to our moonshine shack.
Right.
Happened to me today.
You just gotta reload
content
when
starts?
these things happen, or what?
Content starts, so you create a posse, and if you want other people to join, you can only join a posse when you're not doing any missions. You're not doing any missions,
Oh,
and it
right.
still says, "Oh, content started," so you can't join.
Jesus.
Multiple.
You also can't close your posse when that happens.
I've been kicked from the server multiple times. It's endless. There's the animal bug where there's just no animals, and like hunting is like a major
Right.
income source.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
got
crazy.
I got a serious problem actually with that. With Red Dead's response to that is, I don't know whether the animal issue is complex, but I will say this: that when we first started playing a few months ago, there was an animal bug where sometimes on a server there would be no animals. But that happened, at least to me, only 2 or 3 times. You'd reload, you'd go to another server, and it was back. Around Christmas, and again, this is from my personal experience, around Christmas time, I noticed that the animals were like scarce in every server.
Oh, Jesus.
And you would sometimes get a burst of spawns, but it wasn't like before where every time, like sometimes you would just, like right now, if you go to another server, there's a good chance that server's broken with animals too. I've never seen like a server that's run flawlessly with animals now. And I am fine with them taking a long time on a complex fix if it's a complex problem. I'm not fine with them not answering for months and constantly releasing stuff that like complements the trader, and the trader's a big part of stuff, and they have even stuff for sale but the trader role's broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I equate that, and this is my opinion, that Rockstar is arrogant. They think they're above everybody else, and they don't want to, and they just think like, well, you'll keep playing, and we did.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion. That's what I get from this. That's the message I receive. Like, just tell us, hey guys, this is a pretty complex problem. We're gonna work on it for the next couple weeks or months or whatever.
It's funny too because like when there are animals, there's quite a few, you know. And I was watching this old video on like how to make money quickly in Red Dead Online, and he was saying that the game only loads animals in when you're not looking in that direction.
That's right.
And so he was like, constantly move your camera around so the game will actually load animals in. And so he's like, you can basically walk through this world and just like look to the right and then look back and then find animals. But there's just no animals now. It's like the entire world is just devoid of animals except for...
How is this a problem? Why can't this be fixed?
maybe it's complex like Matt is saying, but
like I get the complexity, but why? I think it was around the Moonshiners, right? When it really broke. Like sometimes
it was
the server
broken before,
breaks.
but it seems worse now. Yeah.
When do you think it got worse?
I've always had problems since I started playing online.
With the animals?
Yeah.
See, Aaron and I had problems where, for example, we would need a certain animal for a daily. We'd go to that region that, like, let's say the bayou, and the bayou is completely broken, but the rest of the world seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
And all we would do is reload servers, come back, and it's fine. And then, I only had that 2-3 times. Now it's like the entire world is broken, and there's like this weird thing where it appears to be, we're not sure. If the session's full, then nothing spawns. Sometimes they'll just get like this big burst of spawn if you do a mission in an area where like every animal spawn like activates, and there's all these animals everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But that is, I think that was around the Moonshiners update.
Yeah.
Just fucking horrible, man.
All right, let's hop into the stories for this week. Speaking of Rockstar, so Dan Houser, who was one of the founders of Rockstar Games, founded it in 1998. He is now leaving. So his brother, Sam Houser, is staying with the company. His role is unchanged, I believe.
Oh.
But I wonder what this means for Rockstar going forward. I think obviously we're going to see a GTA 6 at some point.
It's just like you can expect those games to come out every couple of years, right? Like,
Do you think production's going to increase?
Maybe. It used to be like Leonard Skinner when they got his brother to replace him, and it just gets shitty.
Well, no, he was already at the company. The other guy, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his role's the same.
This is the first I'm hearing about someone at Rockstar, if I'm honest.
They seem kind of like
I don't know who works there.
not in the spotlight very much.
Yeah.
Their games come out every now and then. They sell billions of copies, you know.
But this guy's like he made the narrative for Red Dead?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay. So they just lost an important guy.
Because there's definitely a style to Rockstar Games in their story and their characters. So I wonder if that's going to take a big hit. Some of the charm might be
Interesting.
left. I guess we'll see what happens. Anything you guys want to see from GTA 6? You played GTA, right? 5?
Yeah, I've played 5. I liked the idea of the multiple stories and like controlling various characters. I'd kind of like to see that again, actually. Like, I was attached to all those characters.
Right.
Not just... I don't know. It's just driving around blowing stuff up in an open world, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this is one of those games that needs to be kind of relooked at.
That's been interesting because GTA 5 sold like amazingly well.
The thing is, if you decide to change at this point, we'll know exactly why it's bad.
Right, yeah.
Because that guy's no longer there.
Yeah.
I would say that they need to work on more fine-tuned movement. So like Red Dead is a much slower experience, and walking around, especially in third person, trying to precisely pick up like a can of coffee off the ground was a real pain in the ass. You just sort of kind of float into place. Not like literally float, but you know what I mean, where you push the stick and your guy kind of walks a couple steps and you're like, damn, went too far. Turn around.
There's like a delay in the reaction to your movements.
Yeah, so it's like it's more of an abstract, non-precise movement. So I think, unless you're in first person, I found, but I would say that I'd like to see that, and I wouldn't mind a reboot like that, like where it's even GTA 5 Online, all of the roles or jobs or whatever they are in GTA 5, whatever they call them, they're all very repetitive and very like MMO like, in my opinion.
Right.
I would kind of like to see like a big reboot like that too. I think something.
How about taking it out of America?
There is GTA London. They have done it once. They could do it again, certainly.
Because they're a UK company, aren't they?
Part of them is, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. London again. London would be cool again, or something else.
Is there anything from Red Dead that they could bring into GTA?
No, horseback riding?
I'll take that.
I don't know.
That's not bad. We can't really do the camp system.
I was gonna ask about the camp system. Could you do something like?
You could do like a hideout thing.
Well, I was wondering whether they should step away from the concrete jungle and go into like more of an actual more of a wilderness,
Like a rural Grand Theft Auto
area or something like that. Like they kind of added. Well, they did. They added rural areas into like San Andreas and up. I kind of think that maybe they could do something cool like that, where we're still like running guns or whatever you do in those games, but you're out in the jungle to an extent, and there'll be a big city center somewhere, whatever.
Yeah. Well, even Red Dead, like Saint Denis, pretty city big.
That's definitely
Pretty
a
big
city,
city.
yeah, big city.
So I don't know where you take Grand Theft Auto from here.
I'd rather see a new L.A. Noire.
Yeah.
Maybe not L.A., but certainly another detective-style game. I like the period pieces as well.
Yeah. I was hoping that them remastering it was to kind of gauge interest in a sequel, but I'm not sure how much those remasters made. Although they did the VR case files thing too.
Like a separate thing?
No, I don't know. I don't think they're new story missions or anything like that. But there's like a few things where you can do in VR.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that game looking amazing when it came out, but when we played it for the channel, it was like, this looks awful.
Yeah,
there's like zero cars on the road. The buildings are all just blocky, and
I would say there's not a good transition between the character like emotions as well. Like when you're interrogating someone, they snap into like the response, and like their face just changes, and it's like, oh, that guy's lying or something's wrong with his face.
Well, with facial capture where it is today, I think they could do a lot better job and make it look a lot nicer.
It'd be the time to bring it back, maybe.
Because the way they did it, it almost looks like they were actually taking live action footage of their faces and just digitizing it and mapping it around a digital character and then kind of fixing it up. But I think they can actually make a physical face now, like a physical digital face, rather.
Yeah.
More detail and such, right?
Have more emotion that you can actually read.
I think the problem with L.A. Noire is it's a little restrictive, though, because you got to be a good guy, you got to be a cop.
Well, he wasn't a very good guy. But you have your bad guy in GTA.
Yeah.
I want to be a cop in GTA. That's what I want. That's why I like L.A. Noire so much.
What if you could be a dirty cop, though?
Or
that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
You know what? A period piece would be awesome. An 80s dirty cop.
That's not bad.
But
that's fucking awesome. In Vice City.
That's not bad.
You like the multiple characters. You could have a good cop and a bad cop.
Here we go.
That's not bad.
Let's go get hired.
We'll take this guy's place. Take Dan Hazard's place. Yeah, that's right. All right, moving on. The coronavirus
Oh my
is
god.
affecting the game industry.
Scary, man.
So Outer Worlds was going to be coming to Switch. This comes to us from Kotaku. Take-Two Interactive announced its third quarter earnings report today that the Outer Worlds for Switch has been delayed from its March release until sometime after April of this year. They announced on Twitter shortly after that the delay was due to the recent outbreak of the coronavirus. And, quote, we're delaying Outer Worlds on Nintendo Switch due to the coronavirus impacting the virtuous team working on the port to provide them enough time to finish development, end quote. So a lot of the times they'll what do you call it? They're outsource the porting to some other company.
Yeah.
This company, I guess, was in Singapore.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
But has development offices throughout China. And so it's affecting them. This is affecting a lot of American companies, which is kind of crazy.
Still scary.
All their manufacturing was there. some of them, when they locked the whole country down, it's like, oh crap. I think Apple's had to close some stores and their supply chains being affected.
Could this affect the PS5 and Xbox Series X?
It's a good question. I wonder when those will go actually into production.
And then could you even really start production now?
If the consoles are going to launch in like November-ish time frame, then
Well, what's our timeline to what's our general timeline for a disease like this? Like if you map it out around SARS or something.
I don't know how long was
How
SARS
long?
around, like a year?
Yeah, maybe.
Like it's still climbing, right?
Yeah.
Like coronaviruses.
Mhm.
Well, they're all coronaviruses.
The current
coronavirus.
Yes.
So it's like, when does it start to sort of peak and then come back down? Like, when do we get a handle on it?
I don't know. It's a good question.
This is all the more reason to not, and doctors would know more than me, obviously, but I've always been an advocate of don't cure the common cold. And I understand coronavirus is worse, but don't cure the common cold. Kill the symptom. So if, like, the coronavirus is causing, like, I don't know, the lungs to fail or something, cure the mucus creating thing. Like, stop the mucus craters. And then who cares if you have the coronavirus?
Right.
Like, I don't care if I have a cold if I feel good. Who cares? I got a cold right now. I don't care.
It depends on how it kills you.
I know. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm just saying that I'm an advocate for kill the symptom, don't kill the disease.
Because we were even talking about this. What actually kills you when, like, a flu kills you? Like, a lot of elderly people die from the flu every year.
Yeah.
What actually kills them? What's happening in their bodies that shuts down their system?
Well, you know what's scary is, like when you're real sick, like just in general, you're real sick, coughing and hacking up and whatever. I want to know how close to death we are.
Right.
Because, like, do these people feel worse or do they just suddenly die? Like when we're like, oh, I'm dying, like, you're hacking up a lung, can't breathe. Are we actually dying?
pretty
Like, are we
close.
close?
Yeah.
Are we close?
I don't think we're close, no.
No.
I don't think so.
But can you feel worse?
Yeah. You're talking about, like, from a cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, we've had enough colds and flus in our lives to get a good handle on what they feel like.
Well,
you
a
know
cold-
of a bad one.
You can pretty much do anything you can normally do with a cold. A flu takes you out.
Yeah, it's real bad.
So I'd say that's worse than a cold. Maybe I don't know if
You
you're...
can have a bad cold though. You
but
can have a real bad one.
I don't know if you're close to death, though.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know how it works. I don't know.
Should
We need a doctor on this
Yeah,
show.
but we
so
need a doctor or a guest tonight.
But the thing I heard about the coronavirus is that basically why they're treating it so seriously is because it's a new flu, whereas the current common flu we get every year, it's been around for however long it's been around, right? That's why they don't treat it as if it's like this pandemic. But since the coronavirus is new, they have a chance where they can actually contain it and stop it from becoming an annual flu.
But it's like SARS.
Because-
Do people still get SARS?
No, because they locked it all down, I think.
Right, so they have to do it because otherwise we're going to lose a lot of people.
No, but what I'm saying is people die from the flu. Like thousands of people die from the flu every year.
Yeah.
But no one freaks out and is running for the hills because of the normal flu. The coronavirus...
Isn't influenza, it has variants like the common cold, though.
Yeah.
That's why we have to get a shot every year because
Yeah.
they have a good estimate as to which one's going to take off, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is they just don't want the coronavirus to become like the common flu and infect people every single year. And just become a part of our lives, killing an extra 1,000 on top of the people who already die from the normal flu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're freaking out because it's new. But if it was just a normal flu, it would be killing the same amount of people as the flu does.
Here's the question, though. What if there was a particularly deadly strain of influenza? Would they be freaking out? Or they'd be like, well, take your flu shot. I
think it would have to be like a lot more deaths than normal.
Well, coronavirus is also different than
Yeah.
influenza, clearly,
Yeah.
because it's not like they're just like, well, we'll just give you a shot.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Although they're working on it. I heard that they send out like the I don't know what you call it, the bacteria, I guess, or the whatever the hell
samples,
it is.
whatever
The samples.
Yeah.
They send it to like all the major countries, and they all start working on cures.
They said at least a year.
Yeah.
But think about this. There's no cure for SARS, so they're not going to have it.
What happened to SARS then? How did SARS go away?
Like you said, more than total speculation, because I'm not up to date on my SARS knowledge.
That was like we were
But
like kids.
If we killed that off by containing it, and then people got better, and then only releasing people from hospital when they were better, then we killed it off. Right?
Yeah.
This has been your weekly Corona update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy at the movie theaters, he was coughing, and then he walked by us. He was like, "Coronavirus!"
Oh God.
That's like yelling fire in a theater, man.
Yeah.
Like,
What the hell's
are we
going on,
doing?
bud?
Yeah.
Come on.
That guy, the doctor in China, got arrested for that, and then he ended up dead.
That was really sad.
Yeah. That's brutal.
Did you see a 30-hour-old baby has coronavirus?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Were they born with it then?
They don't know whether it was in the womb or whether it was because it was born, so there's like fluids and stuff.
Jesus. Wow. All right. Let's move on here. This is a bit of a lighter but odd transition. Cliff Bleszinski says that he made LawBreakers too woke, and that's one of the reasons it failed. This is from GameSpot. Apparently he has a memoir coming out, which is equally as hilarious.
Man, we should all get it. Oh man, let's do it.
I'll get the audio book by himself.
So this is with an interview with him. I have some excerpts from that interview. It's a bit long, so just bear with me here. Ever since the studio closed, I've been racking my brain about what I could have done differently. Pivot hard when the juggernaut of Overwatch was announced. Been less nice with my design ideas and more of a dictator with them. One big epiphany I had was that I pushed my own personal political beliefs in a world that was increasingly divided. Instead of the story being, this game looks neat, it became, this is the game with the woke bro trying to push his hacky politics on us with gender-neutral bathrooms. Instead of these characters seem fun, it was, this is the studio with the CEO who refuses to make his female characters sexier. Instead of, who am I going to choose, it became, white dude shoehorned diversity in his game and then smells his own smug farts in interviews. Instead of just letting the product speak for itself. It's okay to be political when your company or studio is established for great product first, but we were unproven and I regret doing it.
Did he?
Oh,
did
he
he
regrets
do it?
doing it.
Did he do it in the interviews?
Now,
was he pushing
well,
a political agenda in the interviews?
Here's the thing. What was woke about LawBreakers?
That's what's horrible about this is he does not know why it failed. He didn't learn.
But
I think it might have been because he thinks that the female characters should have been like bustier and stuff.
But
at
he
the
thinks,
same time,
but like, did you get any sense that he was trying to be woke in the
No.
development of that game?
Never once.
I got no sense of actual characters by looking at them.
Exactly,
They're
so-
just like one-dimensional, like gray characters.
Yeah.
Maybe in the interviews, which I never watched.
Yeah.
But at the same time, with the exposure that I got from E3, and probably a lot of us, that trailer, I would never in my entire life think it was woke.
Yeah. And he kind of like says that Overwatch had something to do with it.
I mean, that's fair.
But even just if Overwatch didn't exist, just looking at LawBreakers, I would not play that game.
No.
It just didn't look like a fun, interesting game to me.
I think there's too many people trying to capitalize on the fact that there's things like Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch, and it's a formula that needs to be carried out a very certain way, and it was like very possible that Overwatch could have failed.
But Overwatch, I think, became a hit because of its characters and its design and its kind of optimistic hero approach.
Yeah.
You know, it had the great cinematics.
When you look at an Overwatch character, you get a sense of their story, what kind of character they are. Each character has their own animation, their own style of moving. It's crazy.
If you lined up the LawBreakers characters, it's just like
Yeah.
video game dudes.
Yeah. Like you can see an Overwatch character on the other side of the map, and like you can just see like their profile, and you can tell what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
In LawBreakers, it's just like a gray Call of Duty guy that could be from any game attacking you.
So I didn't know this was some big political game for him.
That's so sad.
That's weird.
But anyway, you can look for his memoir, I guess.
Yeah.
He says this will be quite the doozy of the chapter in the upcoming memoir.
Oh my god.
You know what's hilarious about this is, technically speaking, if he's talking about wokeness, his series Gears of War, the 5th one is woke because there's a woman in it, a woman lead for the first time.
In LawBreakers?
No, in Gears of War 5. So and yet Gears of War 5 was successful.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's just spewing bullshit. I want to kind of watch those interviews now, because maybe he's not spewing. Maybe he pushed it too much.
Yeah,
and
maybe we missed it all. Yeah.
But like it's possible that like maybe he's right to an extent, but at the same time, like, who watched those interviews?
I feel bad about stuff like this though, because he did make Gears of War, which went on to be a successful franchise.
Yeah.
He failed at this and then left the video game industry.
He was in one of those Fortnite videos. Remember that? You showed me.
Fortnite videos?
Fortnite. He introduced Fortnite or something for the very first time.
He introduced Fortnite the very first time.
Yeah, because that Epic.
He was still at Epic.
Oh, and then he tried to make his own.
This was years before it was a battle royale, though.
Yeah.
But then he did make his own battle royale.
In response to Fortnite.
Radical Heights.
You remember the name?
I remember everything.
Was that a woke game too?
No, but it looked. The thing is, it launched and like buildings just had no textures on them.
Because they were trying too hard to capitalize on it all.
But the shop worked. You could put money into that for sure.
Man. But I feel bad because I don't like it when any creator kind of gets angry at the industry that made
He's
them
kind
famous.
of aggressive, though, right?
Yeah.
What was that thing he said for LawBreakers? It's like $39.99. None of that $60 multiplayer only bullshit.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Like, he just attacks other people's like business practices like that.
But I mean that is why he made his own studio, though. That's why he left Epic, right? Because he didn't like all the corporate control and all that stuff, right?
Then he went and made Radical Heights.
Yeah. So, anyway, there's that.
He described LawBreakers as the Dark Souls of first-person shooters.
How?
That's you got to read his memoir to find out about that one.
I'll pre-order that one on Apple Books. I think we had a story either last week or the week before about how much, I think it was EA made in microtransactions. We now have numbers on how much Activision and Take Two have made. This is from GameSpot. Now, I find this funny. This is the funniest part. They have different names. They don't call it microtransactions at the companies.
Oh, God.
Let me take a look here.
Oh, my God.
Bitch dollars for all the bitches that buy them.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Muggle money.
Muggle money.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Okay, so Take Two calls it recurrent consumer spending.
Oh,
Recurrent
that's great.
consumer spending.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I can't find Activision's. I swear I put it in here, though.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Activision, for the calendar year ended December 31st, Activision Blizzard made $3.37 billion for microtransactions. Oh, here we go. Which the game calls in-game net bookings.
Oh.
For the 3-month quarter ended December 31st, Activision made $1.09 billion.
Just off of microtransactions.
That's just I think they include DLC in that as well.
But not like buying the game.
Yeah, the game sales are separate. This is all additional spending on those games. Take Two, with their recurrent consumer spending, $930.1 million. So almost $1 billion.
And
that is up 15%.
Man,
Most
is
of that
horrible.
from GTA.
This is horrible. This is the norm. It makes me
This is
feel real bad.
This is the norm now, yeah.
This didn't happen 5 years ago. Well, it did, but all those games are free. None of these games are free. You pay for them all.
Yeah.
And then pay more.
Yeah.
I was actually wondering if the lack of animals things is by design in Red Dead.
How so?
Well, you need the animals for a reason, right?
To make money, yeah.
So what's the alternative if you can't find animals, but you need them for like this season pass or whatever, or this they have like a
Outlaw Pass.
outlaw pass.
So that's actually one thing that's interesting is the Outlaw Pass is really not grindy at all. Every level of it, there's 100 of them.
Is it like a weekly thing though?
No, it's just you can like if you could get to level 100 day one, you could get to level 100, and it's each level is only 1,000 XP. It doesn't even increase the amount of XP you need to go up, and that's 1,000 XP on anything. So one bounty, if it's a big one, could get you like 5 levels.
What I'm wondering is if there's like a way you can spend money instead of hunting the animals.
Any item you buy in the game, you can also buy with gold.
So there's
which is your purchasable
Okay.
microtransaction currency.
Mhm.
Right.
So if you're not making money fast enough via your rolls, you could always purchase it with gold, which you can buy with real money.
Right. Okay.
So that might be what you're getting at there.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have purchased some things with gold instead of using my money.
And I was
And some
wondering.
stuff's only gold.
And some stuff's only gold, yeah.
Yeah. So some people have to hunt, right? Like that's like their. Isn't that one of the roles?
It's the biggest moneymaker.
And it just happens to be
Broken,
scarce.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
It does make a lot of money, but it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but
Like moonshine happens passively. Hunting, you have to hunt, then Crips has to then process it all, and then you have to drive it halfway across the map without being killed by someone else.
the thing is, though, is with the hunting, technically, if you shoot all the birds when you're riding around, like that really helps. If you're
Mhm.
doing bounties and you loot all the guys, actually a lot of them have pelts
Yeah.
on them, so that's a fair bit giving. It is slow, but if you work on the hunting, it's
Mhm.
it's fast.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it's by design to me.
It's kind of interesting that it's not the bounties that are broken, which is one of the lowest money makers in my opinion. They're not bad actually because they are quick. They don't make a lot each, but they do.
Yeah.
They are quick.
Yeah.
And Rockstar's not talking about it. You said
They put a little post on their site.
about the hunting.
Yeah.
Months later,
Months later, yeah.
like this has been broken for
It's
over
still
a month.
broken.
Oh, well
And
over
it was
a
just
month.
like we're aware that it's happening and we're working on a fix. That was it.
It's not broken. There's money coming in.
Yeah. Not broken on our end.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by arrogance. I feel like they either think they're a cut above or they just don't care, maybe because of your by design thing.
They
Like
are a cut above.
they are a cut above, but their online
Is
Is
cut
not.
below.
is a cut below. Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. I found this story interesting. Xbox's Phil Spencer sees Amazon and Google as their biggest future competitors, not Sony or Nintendo. This comes to us from GameSpot. Speaking to Protocol, Spencer explained that the real competitors on the horizon are Amazon and Google due to their established cloud service backbones that already compete with Microsoft's own Azure network. Spencer sees the movement towards cloud gaming. They're already testing their own games streaming service, Project xCloud, publicly, and the hardware that they will require as the new ground for competition instead of physical console sales. And Phil Spencer says, when you talk about Nintendo and Sony, we have a ton of respect for them, but we see Amazon and Google as the main competitors going forward. That's not to disrespect Nintendo and Sony, but the traditional gaming companies are somewhat out of position. I guess they could try to recreate Azure, but we've invested tens of billions of dollars in cloud over the years.
I will say that PlayStation Now, I was browsing it the other night, and it has a lot on there. I really didn't think it did.
Their problem with that is simply marketing. They need to,
Is that why that little ad popped up?
they need to get people aware of it. Everyone knows Game Pass, as far as I know, but I don't think people really know that PlayStation Now is similar.
They need to do what Disney's doing at Disney Plus. Disney's not really advertising it. It's the influencers.
Yeah.
They probably need to get the same thing.
Probably the only time you find out PlayStation Now exists is when you're playing like the Game Pass, and you're like, I wonder if Sony has one of these.
Yeah.
Well, I think they should actually rebrand it.
Yeah, I agree
Just
with that.
relaunch it.
Yeah. Dress it up nice, put a new coat of paint on it, give it a new name, and then say, introducing this.
This is definitely the time to do it right before the console comes out.
But I don't think they're going to do that, though.
They might do it when the console launches. I could see that. And I could see them releasing a bigger subscription because Sony seems to like to raise the price on that.
Game Pass is kind of nicer, too. It kind of explains what's happening.
the actual name of it, Game
yeah,
Pass. Yeah,
PlayStation Now. I mean,
sounds old.
Yeah, and so I don't know about that.
It doesn't like not everything's downloadable too though.
All the PS4 games are. It's just the PS3 games that aren't downloadable.
Right, and the PS.
Are there some PS2 games or something?
I'm not sure about that, but the Xbox Game Pass I was going to say is only downloadable at this time.
It doesn't stream.
What's
right?
interesting is I wonder what Game Pass / xCloud's going to do.
Are they going to combine the two?
Because I was telling Marty, like, my internet's pretty good, so I would be in a situation where, let's say I was having trouble downloading the update for 76, and we wanted to play. I'd be like, damn, I guess I just got to stream it tonight, and then I would just let it download while I was streaming. Like, that's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Whereas you wouldn't really want to rely on streaming.
Now here's what's weird: Sony and Microsoft made that cloud arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
So is Sony going to be using Azure for their cloud gaming?
Probably.
So then it's kind of weird for him to be like,
We used $10 billion to make this. Here, Sony, you can use it too.
yeah.
The thing is, though, is that's kind of smart because they just because they like Azure is everything. Like you could rent Azure to do anything.
Yeah.
You can. It's like not literally anything, but it's server infrastructure.
Although I pointed out to you though that I thought this was funny because they lost this console generation, and now they're moving the goalposts and saying that's the real target.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's a little kind of because even in this article here from GameSpot, it says Spencer wants to shift the conversation away from hardware sales toward the number of potential customers
It's definitely moving the goalposts.
that each company can reach.
So, go ahead.
No, my incomplete thought.
So he thinks Amazon's like his biggest.
I think more so Google.
Competition.
I don't know what Amazon's really doing in this space,
AWS.
other than owning cloud services.
Is it just the tech, or is it like the?
It's probably the tech. I imagine there's a lot of tech because you need low latency for gaming, right?
So is the implication that they're going to move into gaming
Amazon?
or Google?
Amazon does own Twitch,
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Is that?
and that's competing with Mixer, which is owned by Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if they know. I mean, maybe this is already out. I don't even know, but maybe smaller game companies can already like go to AWS and stream their games. I don't know.
Now he brings up this point of. He says, I don't want to be in a fight over format wars with those other guys, while Amazon and Google are focusing on how to get gaming to 7 billion people around the world. So I think the point is there's an entry barrier into buying a console, right?
Right.
But everyone, most people, not everyone, but a lot of people have a laptop or a phone or a tablet,
Mhm.
some sort of internet-connected device that they can just stream games to. And they don't even need to be that powerful, you know?
Right.
They just need to have a good internet connection. So that makes the I guess the availability a lot greater.
Well, here it is right here. This is from BGR.com. 2 days ago, Amazon might launch its game streaming service around the same time as PS5 and
There you
new
go.
Xbox.
There you go.
They're ready to rock.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a report, right? It said maybe.
Yeah.
But
What if we see one of these companies like fail? Because there's only so many companies that can be in one space, right?
the thing is Amazon doesn't care.
No, but I'm saying like if you have like right now you have Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. Those are the big gaming guys,
Yeah.
right? Now you're bringing in Amazon and Google. I think someone's going to have to fall, right? Is it Sony maybe if they don't catch up?
Well, this is actually similar.
Nintendo
to,
might survive just because they're different, you know.
This is similar to though the Apple situation where Apple's Siri is falling behind because of its lack of a search engine and like information collection.
Yeah, but that doesn't really matter when they're selling hardware.
No, but that's exactly it. Sony could carve out a space for the people that don't have good internet,
Right.
selling good hardware.
Right.
That could be their shtick. If the other guys go all in,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck Stadia's doing either.
That's the funny thing too is like Stadia had a rough launch, and they'll iron it out at some point, I imagine.
But like, do you trust that now?
Well, not if someone has to die too.
Yeah.
What?
You,
Like a
you just
company
said someone
has
has
to-
to die.
Oh, you're saying Google could die?
Yeah.
Well,
One of the
Google
when they do
Stadia.
Google Stadia, yes. I don't know. I'm just thinking because only 2 operating systems can exist at one time,
Yeah.
and anyone else who tries has died.
Right.
Now we do have 3 gaming platforms, you know.
yeah.
So maybe there is room for more than just 3. But I'm just speculating that maybe there isn't.
Maybe not. Like Nintendo's kind of got their own like niche. Like
They're almost not a competitor, really, just because.
like they're kind of a particular type of console, I'd say.
Right.
Like it's focused on being in the same room as other people.
Right.
Where this is the opposite. This is like I want to play games with my buds so we can all download the same game. So I think that's where Sony might be the one that's in the most danger.
Here's what I find funny though is like Sony did launch PlayStation Now, which was streaming only,
Yeah.
and I didn't hear of people having trouble streaming games on it. It didn't become like a big success or anything like that, as far as I can tell.
No.
But then Google comes around with Stadia, and it's why couldn't they make a good streaming service right off the bat?
I honestly think that's due to lack of focus. They're doing a lot of stuff.
Do you think Microsoft could pull ahead of Google in this matter?
It seems like Xbox is a pretty focused division.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say.
Well, it'll be interesting. We definitely have one console generation coming. So
Do we?
That's what they say anyway. I don't see a whole lot of evidence of it.
well, we saw the Series X. We saw the box.
I guess so.
Where do we fall on the idea that streaming is going to take it over? Do we still think streaming is going to take over everything?
Next one.
I think eventually it's going to happen.
See,
yeah.
this is the thing, though, is that we've been saying this since the 360.
This is like the
I don't know if anyone was talking about streaming games during the 360.
If you watch the old Xbox 360 launch on G4, actually, I remember Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb saying this is more than likely the last. This is more than likely the last console generation back then.
Oh yeah, they talked about the end of console generations, but
why would you say that?
Well, they were talking about on live back then, probably.
On live and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why would you say that when?
In case you're right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
The thing is, though, I'm curious whether these companies care about people that don't have good internet. We had this conversation where I said it probably doesn't matter. They probably don't give a fuck. You're in the city. That's where all the news is. If you're out in the rural area, go ride your tractor.
Go play your Xbox 360.
I mean, there's a lot happening though.
There's even bad internet in cities, though.
Yeah, but there's a lot happening with internet becoming more widespread and available. I think there's multiple bills have been passed to expand high-speed internet access to rural areas. Google is pushing out their own fiber network. You got just fiber in general going further and further than it has before. You have frickin' what's Elon Musk's space company?
SpaceX?
SpaceX. You got SpaceX literally making satellite internet across the entire globe. You have 5G internet coming, which could be actually helpful for rural people who don't need the infrastructure of lines running everywhere. They just need a tower close to their home and a receiver,
and no trees.
And nothing to block it, yes. But I think it's going over the next 10 to 20 years. I think faster speeds are going to be a lot further than they are today.
Are we supposed to be getting fiber around here? I remember that like 5 years ago. They're like 2020, it's coming. I was like, holy fuck, that's a long ways away.
Here's the thing. Fiber is coming to Six Nations.
Right.
There's a line of fiber from Bell.
It's physically on its way.
It's spooled up somewhere.
Yep.
And then it's just copper wires running to all the homes.
Right.
And it doesn't sound like they're going to be pushing it out anytime soon. There's not enough people paying here to warrant the thousands and thousands of dollars it costs to install it all.
Here's the question, though.
Maybe.
I mean,
but the Liberals did pass that bill that rural areas had to have at least 20 down by like 2023 or something like that.
Yeah.
But at least 20 down is just barely enough to do PS Now.
Yeah. Yeah. But if they're running fiber to those locations, it could go up to whatever.
Copper can do well over 100.
Oh, well, then even that then.
Yeah.
But then you have to upgrade your routers and stuff.
That's
fine. People will do that for the speed, yeah.
Who will?
People.
No. The infrastructure of the ISP needs to be upgraded.
Yeah.
Why would they do it? This is always
because there's literally a law saying you have to do it.
But only to 20.
Minimum of 20, yeah.
So they'll get the shittier one still. This is always the problem is if you have a monopoly or a near monopoly, where there's only a couple in that area, there is absolutely no reason. And I agree with this. I wouldn't upgrade people's internet. You can whine and cry all you want. Here's your 5 down. I own that market. I don't care.
No, that's definitely true. Bell's the only people who come out here,
So there you go. Why would you upgrade?
other than the local guys. But they're using like cellular internet, which isn't great.
And then I would lobby against the government to overturn that law
They're probably doing that too.
because that's probably cheaper than me upgrading my routers in the long term, or my infrastructure. And that sounds really corrupt, but it ain't. That's just business.
No, it is corrupt.
I need someone to
It's
fight.
corrupt over here.
But why? The thing is why? Like that company is there to make money. Why would I care about what the people have? Like,
well, look what happened in your hometown.
I was going to say,
Someone
our
came
town's
in
in a different
and screwed over Bell.
Yeah,
So now Bell, if they want to offer
and
fiber,
Rogers actually,
if Bell and Rogers want to offer fiber to you, they now have to pay what's their names?
Metro Loop.
Metro Loop
Yeah,
to use their lines.
Hell yeah.
people are
So-
changing to Metro Loop left, right, and center.
And
That's great.
There's word that Metro Loop might come here. So
Yeah, Metro Loop is fucking kicking ass out there.
that's what happens with these companies who are too.
See, that
High
makes
on their
sense.
morals.
There's your 3.
Yeah.
Now they're all fighting.
Yeah. All right. Let's hope for a future where we all have great internet. Maybe that SpaceX stuff will actually work. Although you'll have like a billion like satellites flying above you. But
What about the
That was pretty
cloud?
cool.
What about the clouds? Like physical, actually clouds.
what do you mean?
Are
What's
they-
happening here?
So like,
Yeah.
well, right now we have satellite television.
You going all hippy dippy on us?
Yeah. Well, you have satellite television.
Yeah.
And if it's really cloudy / raining, it's really bad. Is that going to affect it, or have we gone beyond that now?
I don't.
Like when it's cloudy, is your internet going to get cut in half?
Well, that's because there's digital signals, right?
Well, I mean, this is the internet. It's not going to be. I would assume it's not going to be like a boop 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 like Morse code out here,
No, I know that, but just trying to think.
right? I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't know the answer to that.
Good question, right?
Yeah. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Damn.
All right, and so speaking of the console wars, the PS5, the price is undecided, but Sony is watching whether to see what their competitor is going to price their box at.
Mm-hmm.
Trying that shit again, eh?
Yeah, so
Watch Sony blow it
I think
and be way above still.
I think they learned from the last 2 console generations of what truly wins the. You need to win the start of the race to win the generation. It's very difficult to catch up. Sony did it right when they switched to PS4, right?
They caught up with the PS3 at the end and
Right
they
at the
carried
end.
that momentum through.
And definitely price is a huge factor for a lot of people. $100 off is worth it for a lot of people, you know.
Hell yeah.
Like I can't imagine it was all just that marketing about people hating the Xbox One and all that stuff. I can't imagine them losing was all just because of that. I think I think a lot had to do with the price.
It was the price for sure. And it was everyone was upset that the Xbox was trying to be always online at that time.
Right.
That turned everyone off.
Right.
We weren't ready for that.
And I wonder what the influence of the salespeople is. Like if they're connected to the gaming community, you know, if they're a decent salesperson, would they say, "Oh, you don't want this one because it's
Talking like actually in an EB Games or something?
EB Games or Walmart or Best Buy?" If someone says, "I'm looking for a console for my kid or whatever," or just I'm a new gamer, I'm looking for a console, are they selling the PS4 because A, it's cheaper and it doesn't have that online thing, it didn't have all the
I'd say so.
come with the stupid Kinect that no one wanted?
It's cheaper. It's an easier sale.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I do think price has a big thing to do with it. The Wii being so cheap, I think, was a big
Yep.
reason why that was so successful.
Good marketing too. The Wii would like
Oh
to
yeah,
play.
that was crazy marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was really
good.
good.
What's great about that is like you'd go buy the Wii and then be like, oh, I gotta buy 3 more controllers for my whole family. So
Mhm.
then they're just making money off those controllers each time. Oh, it's a nunchuck for each controller
Right?
too.
Yeah. Would it be in bad taste if, let's say, Xbox comes out, you know, $4.99, right? And the PS5 says $3.99. Could Xbox come back and say, "We're now $3.99"?
Absolutely.
Whoops.
Yeah.
That's a typo.
I think this is like the biggest war generation ever, right? Like the other one,
Because it could be the last one. They want to win the final
360,
battle.
like
Yeah.
the 360. Eh?
Yeah. They want to win the final battle, and this will be it.
I feel like we're gonna lose.
The consumer?
Yeah, we're gonna be the ones that lose. What if they're both like $6.99?
Yeah.
Here's a question actually about that again. We didn't even get rid of the CD drive yet.
Yeah, that's right.
But so what I'm saying is that as long as they make consoles, they'll have to make another console.
Why's that?
If they think that people aren't just going to be like, man, let's just change like now, let's just stream our games now. You know what I mean? Like, there's not going to be if we're still buying discs and selling discs, then what is the incentive to go to stream? There's no incentive to go to streaming, and there's no incentive to buy Game Pass.
I'd say there's an incentive because there wasn't much incentive to go digital.
But we're still buying discs.
I wonder what the numbers are on that, though. How many people are doing digital opposed to physical?
It's got to be a bunch if they're still doing the drives.
EB Games is hurting.
Right.
You know, so
we're starting to see that go away. But are we gonna see people streaming their games right away? I don't see people eagerly anticipated their Chromecast with their Stadias.
I started this generation buying physical.
Yeah.
And I've gone completely digital. I haven't bought a physical game in years.
Right.
So who's to say I won't switch to streaming come next gen? Halfway through next gen.
Your internet says otherwise.
I mean, if I was in a place with good internet, yeah. I
think you would.
I probably would. If it was a nice stable connection and it actually worked, I'd have no problem streaming.
So are you like these games you're streaming? Is it like on this Game Pass or do you actually own them?
With Google Stadia, you own them. So you
have to buy them.
Not only do you have to buy the subscription to Stadia, you then have to pay for the games. I think, right? Is that right?
At full price?
No, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for the. You don't have to pay for access to Stadia. Stadia
but there is like a
premium access that gives you things like free games each month or whatever.
Right.
But I don't think that free one's out yet, right?
I don't know. I don't know what's out, but I just know that that's what.
But you do have to buy the games, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like a marketplace.
And so you would own them,
right?
I guess digitally
on
Stadia, only Stadia.
Only Stadia.
Yeah.
I thought of something really, really greasy that they could do with streaming games since they control it. Real easy. It'd be real easy for them to get rid of games, unless you buy something in them or something like that.
Ooh.
So it'd be like, well, like everyone who doesn't have any Overwatch currency, like Overwatch is being taken down, but if you have premium currency, that reserves your spot.
I don't like that at all.
That's grease.
Or like, we're getting rid of Overwatch in the next week. Overwatch HD coming out, baby. You better get a bit paying for that.
You can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do that? What do you mean you can't do that?
All right, Marty, what was your back burner question there?
Oh, in the style of
God of War.
Yeah, who the hell makes Santa Monica?
Yeah.
Santa Monica Studios. In style of Santa Monica Studios, revisiting a franchise of theirs. Well into it, too. They were like 4 or 5 games into it. And they kind of revitalized the franchise, breathed new life into it. What games or studio do you think could do something similar with a similar success? My money is on Rocksteady rebooting Batman.
Oh,
I think you guys even talked about a story last week about that.
Well, no, that was Adriano yesterday. He read the story that they were possibly doing a reboot.
I think the combat system is outdated.
Oh, but that's what's so fun about the game.
Exactly. That was what was fun about God of War. They reboot the combat, or even I don't even know how much you could change. But just reboot Batman, because I think those are successful for a reason. It wasn't just the combat; it was like you built a world.
You know, it would be fascinating because God of War really became narrative driven in this new one. If you did that same thing with the Batman game, I think that could be pretty cool. Yeah, and almost make like a Christopher Nolan Batman game.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be cool.
I hope they're doing something at least.
And not Ninja Turtles, please, for the love of God.
Ninja Turtles would be pretty good though.
I'm kind of rooting for a Wonder Woman game, but I don't want Ninja Turtles.
Wonder Woman, eh? They think they're gonna stay in the DC
because she's kind of got like a fighting kind of deal,
right?
Some whip action would be awesome, you know.
Yeah.
Or lasso action, I guess.
I don't know too much about Wonder Woman, but it seems like all she does is fight.
Well, that's all Batman does.
He's a detective.
Oh, I gotta pull up my thing and use the Joy-Con or the
Who are you gonna fight?
joysticks
Who are you gonna fight in Wonder Woman?
Steppenwolf. I don't know.
There you go.
Kind of sounds like we'll be solving mysteries in the sewers.
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, as the turtles.
What are Wonder Woman's villains? I don't know much about
Ares.
God of War again here. What's going on?
What's going on? Like, the fuck?
Kratos. You gotta go fight Kratos.
Yeah, there you go. I can't think of anyone else. Oh, the leopard lady, cheetah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's a game that could use a real big reboot is the Driver series.
Holy crap.
Okay.
Ubisoft could come out with a GTA competitor, but a real fucking polished one.
See it. I think what made God of War successful was like you can recognize Kratos. Like big bald head and the red stripe. That's all you need.
Yeah.
But like, who's the driver?
Tanner.
You know his name.
What the heck?
I played them all. Yeah. I played all the drivers.
That's
even,
the same guy.
Even the PSP one.
I played the one in the 70s. That was all right. Parallel Lines.
Parallel Lines is okay, but that one didn't have Tanner in it.
That's great.
The obvious one that comes to mind, I think, is like Halo. That's
no.
remains.
Infinite might be kind of that. Like,
What can
that.
you do to Halo though?
Well, you could have said the same thing about God of War.
You make him a character.
Like a better character than what he is. Yeah.
He was pretty one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really care much for the Halo franchise myself.
Right.
I'm not too invested in it. I'll probably buy the new one, or actually, I'll have the new one just with Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'll probably play it, but
Reboot Steep.
Oh my god.
We want Steep back, baby.
it's kind of just easy to jump to all those games that kind of came around during that time.
From like the start of the last generation.
Yeah.
I would say Breath of the Wild did it with Zelda. They kind of revitalized that franchise.
That's a really good one. That's a good example.
So it's definitely possible.
What series? I would say it kind of favors the last one being so. Like you have a series and then that it starts kind of going down, and then the last one that they releases are like, you know.
I mean, I like the last Far Cry, but I think Far Cry could use a reboot.
That might be a good one.
Yeah, the formula is getting kind of.
That's the thing. Formula. Yeah, like it starts to get boring over the time.
It's like the last 3 Far Cry games are the same game.
Yeah.
Just improving like what was broken about the previous one.
That might have been what God of War was like too.
Mm-hmm. They get too stuck in that rut and just keep running with it.
What if Starfield is a reboot of the single-player RPG from Bethesda? Because people are saying there's space combat. That's brand new. There's never been vehicles in any of these games other than horses.
Yeah.
They need a new engine, straight up.
Holy fuck.
Like, that's just what they need to do.
Well, this is the question. Were people saying that before Fallout 4?
They've said it every Fallout game.
But was it widespread like this?
Yeah, I remember it.
I don't remember that much complaint about the engine. I remember it being brought up.
Because I remember Skyrim, they were talking about how bad the engine was.
Yeah.
And then when they announced Skyrim, they're like, this is a brand new engine, and look at all these effects and stuff we can do with it now. And people were like, played it, and like, they still need a new engine. 4 came out, people complain about the engine. Every single Bethesda game, they complain about the engine.
The thing is, it grows, right? It's going to grow with each time. It's like, oh my God, they still haven't realized
that's fair.
it.
Because the game's in production for a while, so it's kind of excusable a couple times.
76.
A couple
holy
times, but it's
crap.
like, we do this every time now. Maybe we should start with a new engine.
What a mess 76 was.
That poor
is.
son of a bitch that had to make that engine work online. Holy
Get
fuck.
the multiplayer
He's probably
going.
just mad. Like, he's probably gone mad. They probably had to give him leave or something.
What's funny is Elder Scrolls Online runs pretty well.
But that's totally different.
I
That's
know,
a totally different
but
experience.
it's just like they didn't use the same engine, clearly.
It also doesn't feel like Elder Scrolls.
No. But there's someone with knowledge of how to make a good game run at Bethesda.
Do you think Starfield is going to be like a traditional RPG, or do you think it's going to be like a reboot like this?
I have no idea.
Like
No
a
idea
traditional
what that game
Bethesda
is.
RPG, I should
No
say.
idea what that game is. I hope it's an RPG, but
I kind of think it's a launch title.
for this
I
gen?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's been playable for 2 years.
they've been working on that engine the whole time.
Because when they announced 76, Todd Howard said in an interview that you can play Starfield, you can walk around. So that's
But how much
2
does that mean,
years.
though?
That like when the consoles come out. I mean, when the consoles come out, that'll be 2
That's
years.
this year.
That'll be yeah. So that's the end of this year. At the end of this year, the Starfield would have been playable for 2 years. How much playtesting are you doing?
I don't know.
Plus, you're Bethesda. Just release it as a buggy mess.
Yeah.
This isn't as like the more I think about it, there's a couple games that actually do this, like God of War and Zelda. There was Resident Evil 7. That's pretty different from the past Resident Evils, and it was met with like critical acclaim.
And even the remakes now are like really good.
Remakes? Oh, the Resident Evil ones.
They just remade 2.
Yeah.
And it's completely different from the original, but is definitely brought up to date and feels a lot nicer.
I think this might be the trend moving forward.
For the new gen, yeah,
Calling it
that's
now.
not bad.
Like we almost got this with Silent Hill as well.
Like instead of getting
Mhm.
HD remasters, we'll get remakes, which are a lot nicer.
And not just like remakes, but remade games.
Like properly remade.
Freaking
yeah.
Mass Effect. That would be great.
See,
Last one was bad.
Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
I think it's primed up for
Mm-mm.
although wasn't that what Andromeda was?
What?
Like kind of like the reboot.
No, because it's the same game. Like it's all the same
Right.
mechanics, all the same shooting, all the same dialogue, all that stuff.
I
It's
think
like a spin-off.
the tech's gonna be there, right? There's gonna be most powerful machines. It's gonna be time to like new mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will probably be open world.
Mm-hmm.
Is Watch Dogs Legion a bit of a C-boot? If it's as dynamic as the trailers suggest, but not like
Well-
like they could sneak it in and be like, this is super dynamic, but there's 8 guys.
I
Like
kind
there's
of-
8 people to recruit.
I kind of equate it to the it's more evolutionary.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed to where it is now is more evolutionary.
I'm also not convinced that Watch Dogs will be good. I've played a bit of
Oh.
the first one, and I'm just like, I don't need to play that series ever.
Yeah.
You don't need
it's
to.
boring. Holy man.
The
I don't know if a reboot could save it.
Legion might be interesting.
Right.
Legion I would watch, like I would check it out at launch, but I wouldn't buy it until I would know more.
Some of these studios are getting pretty old now too.
Yeah.
Is Ken Levine still around? Can we get some BioShock going again?
I'm so sad that he's like not around. Like why? Why did he disappear?
Maybe he just made a couple games that he liked and he's just done.
Jeez.
Just did it.
He had kids, which is understandable if he wanted to spend more time with his kids and whatnot. I'm just sad though. He was great.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Ubisoft kind of rebooted the Anno series. Like from Dawn of Discovery, I would say, and the one before it, 1701. They all kind of like were formulaic. They all kept going and I'm knocking over coats. They like kept going and going and going. It was just like the same game with different years and like small variants. 2050 gets released. It crashed. It would like kind of crapped out, but it was sort of unique-ish. Like, and then 1800 hit it, and that was like a big reboot. But that's a big like strategy game on PC, right?
Yeah.
I
would
think
like to see
Ubisoft-
more though. It'd be great.
Ubisoft as a whole needs like on their core series
They need
needs
a
a
reboot, yeah.
needs a big C boot.
They just need to make their games individuals. Instead, they're going to reboot them all and they're all going to be the same.
It's just a new
Yeah.
like, same.
Yeah.
But they have these weird spin-offs where it's like Far Cry is formulaic, but no one uses the Far Cry formula except for Far Cry. Steep is not formulaic, and it's totally different. Steep is not formulaic. The map's kind of similar, but I mean, it's the same studio. There's going to be, or the same company. There's going to be some similarities. But Steep is very unique, I would say, in comparison to other games.
Didn't you say they use that map in one of their other games, though?
The map system and like remember how if you take a picture in photo mode on Origins, at AC Origins,
Yeah.
it shows up on the map, and so like when I go to look at my map, it'll be like your friend took this picture or whatever. It's same thing on Steep. So
That's a
that
Steep feature.
that's similar, but I mean that kind of makes sense. It's sort of like the social club of Ubisoft.
Steep might have done well like 10 years ago.
It might have been awesome.
Yeah.
Steep is awesome, Marty. We're max rank. We're max fucking rank, Marty. We spent over 4 hours perfecting our skill in one of those challenges.
And we still got that skill.
Fuck yeah, we did.
All right. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe to us on all your favorite podcasting channels.
News Surviving the Aftermath patch just came out.
Ooh,
Update
okay,
4.
Cool. We're playing that on the stream.
The mixer.
We should.
Yeah.
You hear how much Ninja got?
I mean, they're not gonna pay us to switch.
Pretty penny. No, I know. But yeah, we're on the Twitch, twitch.tv/day1patchmedia. And we'll see you guys.
Later.
Peace.